right, it's 6:17 on Gabz FM, and I did tell you we have a very exciting, fresh, new partnership that we've got going on. And well, this particular conversation is going to happen right after our news every single Wednesday. It will be called Connectivity Matters. I'm very excited to have it, and it is very proudly brought to you by Paratus. Starting off the conversation today is our sales manager from Paratus, Duduetsang Baikalafhi. A very good evening to you, sir, and welcome to Crunch Time.
Good evening, Cathy. Thanks for having me here.
We're very excited to have you here because, you know, at this point in time, we were speaking about budget a few days ago. And one of the things we spoke about is the fact that, you know, this person was saying, here are your needs and here are your wants. And they tried to say that Wi-Fi is a want. I think at this point, we can agree that internet is not a want, but it's actually a need.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So in terms of organizations now, when you're looking at business, it's still viewed, I'm talking about connectivity, it's still viewed as something that's, you know, just simply having internet access. But in reality, business continuity actually depends on much more than that. It's not just your internet, you know, it's month end, just, you know, put your mind to that. Payroll is processing, teams are working to deadlines, and there are critical business systems that are in constant use. And the last thing that you need at that point in time is some downtime, right? So I think one of the things that we need to talk about, first of all, Duduetsang, is just why standard internet is not enough if you are now putting it in the business context to say in business critical operations.
Yes, that's a good question. There are several limitations that come with standard internet. First of all, your speed is not guaranteed when you're using standard internet. Your uptime, as you mentioned, is not guaranteed. Anything can happen at any time if you are just on standard internet. Thirdly, your latency is very high. What I mean when I say latency, I mean, let's say maybe you're sending files to a server, maybe on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
There's an allowable distance or time that should be taking for you to get it back. So the moment that it's taking longer, it means then obviously your operations are going to be slow.
Yeah.
So those are things that are not guaranteed when it comes to your standard internet.
Yeah.
And then lastly, also I could mention the issues of network control or security. They are not guaranteed when it comes to standard internet. But for businesses that depend on internet and also need business continuity, then dedicated internet access is a must. And not only that, it also has to come with a layer of backup or should I say some secondary link that will be able to take over if there's any incident.
Right.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, security is a big one. And I think that's what you're speaking to. But let's touch on something that you've just mentioned right now to say dedicated internet access.
Yeah.
What is it and how is it different from our standard internet?
Yeah. So dedicated internet, like it says dedicated, it's a private internet service connection to you as a business, as well as, or should I say, in comparison, the shared one is not dedicated. You shared. So if you could maybe take an example, if you could think of internet as a road, if you are sharing the road with other drivers, there's bound to be some traffic at one point, which means you're going to slow down. There's a risk that may come with it. And you don't have that privilege of using the internet alone because now you are on the shared.
Right.
Yes. Your speed will be lowered. But when you're using a private lane, which is just a private road dedicated to you, it means you don't have congestion.
It's unlimited.
Unlimited. You can do the speed that you want, which is also guaranteed because going up or going down, upload, download is guaranteed. Going up, driving down is guaranteed. So that's essentially the difference between the shared and the dedicated.
So in terms of, I mean, and I think a lot of this are just looking at a business point of view and why this is so necessary. And I like to speak, you know, to your informal sector, to your SMME, to your entrepreneur, who a lot of the time think, that might be, you know, a little above me and maybe not so necessary. I think I'd like you to speak about why businesses should be considering a secondary internet connection. Why is that something they should put in mind?
Yeah, it's imperative. I mean, even if you have a reliable internet connection, anything can happen to it. There could be a power cut, there could be theft, there could be vandalism due to any other given reason. Your cable can cut off for any given reason. That means if it cuts off, you are going to experience downtime.
Yeah.
Your operations are going to stall. You're not going to be able to service your customers. And so even when the connection is good, you still need redundancy. And this is where redundancy comes in. In the event that your cable cuts due to construction, due to theft, due to vandalism,
due to floods,
due to floods, any risk, then your wireless can kick in. Your secondary backup link, it doesn't have to be always wireless. Your secondary backup link will kick in, and then it connects you to whatever operations you are running. Then that is what we call business continuity. You're always a step ahead with redundancy, with backup, with failover. You can name it in different ways.
So in practice, I think you've just kind of explained how it works. Is there anything you want? I'm talking about redundancy. Do you want to add a little bit more about how it works?
Yeah. So typically, for an enterprise that runs on two links, you'd have a fiber connection. We call it the primary connection. So that is the one that gives you the primary traffic. In the event that it gets cut, then your traffic will be routed now to the wireless link. And this can be a manual intervention, or it can be an automatic using specialized equipment like routers to make it an automatic failover. So at Paratus, we provide an automatic failover because, first of all, with an automatic failover, it means that it is fast. It is also seamless.
I was about to say, I'm thinking of it like a power cut. You want the backup generator to kick in. You don't want to have to run and go press buttons.
Absolutely. Yeah. So with an automatic failover, sometimes we would be the ones to tell customers that, oh, your link was actually down, but our wireless link has now kicked in without even the knowledge of the customer.
Yeah. Meaning no business processes were interrupted.
No. It's automated. Yeah. It's just seamless. It's automatic.
Yeah. I love that. And I think in closing, I'm going to ask you to speak to just the real cost of downtime for businesses, because I think that's not something that is paid enough attention to.
Yeah. The cost can be in two ways. It can be monetary. I'll give you an example. There was an entity, which I cannot say by name.
Yes, let's.
They were having an audit, external audit. And so obviously there was a downtime. When the downtime took place, it means that everything stalls. They had to extend the audit by 2 more days. And the audit firm had to charge them close to $1 million. So when we talk about the need for continuity, it's monetary terms. It can be hundreds of thousands of dollars.
It can be that tender that you could have submitted.
You know what I'm saying?
It's lost opportunity.
Yes, or it could be a bank that is not able to provide services to its company. And then the secondary cost would be obviously your brand is going to be tarnished.
Yeah.
Because they cannot depend on you.
Yeah.
They cannot rely on you.
Like you said, if you're a bank.
Exactly.
And you can't provide people their money when they want it.
And someone is stranded, they need to transact, but you tell them, no, our services are down, internet connection. They will not take you seriously.
Yeah.
So that is where I think the real cost is, the brand being compromised.
Yeah. And I think that's a very, very big one. You want to make sure that you're giving out the best quality because the times we're in are pretty uncertain.
Exactly.
But that said, I believe, Duduetsang, that you at Paratus have it all. So there's different types of services available. And obviously, depending on the customer or the organization, that is what you would be recommending. How can people find you? Where do they find you? How can they get a hold of you?
Yeah. Before I get to that, I'll just say that, in today's business landscape, companies need not just select an ISP. They need to look for a technology partner that they can rely on for reliability, for dependability, for quality of service, and just take away the headache from you and give it to the telco. And at Paratus, yes, we can provide that kind of business outcome. So we can be reached in different platforms. Our website is www.paratus.africa.
How do you spell Paratus?
Paratus. TUS. It means we are always ready. Latin for we are always ready,
Oh,
always
I like
prepared.
that. I never knew that. I never looked that up.
Yes.
Okay.
So always prepared. And then also you can call us at 391-2345. Also on
391-2345.
yeah, we kept it
That
simple.
is a very simple number. Yeah.
Yes.
On the socials.
So yeah, the socials also, that would be Paratus Botswana on Facebook and also on LinkedIn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff. I don't know if you have any last words, Duduetsang, to close off our conversation.
It's been a pleasure to be here. Thanks for having us here. And we look forward to sharing more insights with the business community on how we can help them to have business outcomes through the support that we can enable them.
I like what you said. You know, it's important to have a technology company because then you're dealing with the people that are actually doing everything. It's not like, oh, that person needs to at that company, and it's, you know, so
we take the headache away from you and then you focus on your core business.
Yeah. No, Duduetsang, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Always